Rami, how are you?
Hello, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How's things?
How are you?
Good, good. How are you feeling? You recovered?
I'm, yeah. Health is improving.
Good to hear.
Yes, it's better. So what's up? How was the last New Year's Eve?
It was good. It's good. I think it's good to see the end of 2021, and it's kind of exciting to see what's going to happen in 2022.
Well, that could be amazing to see in advance.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's crazy last year. Remember in 20, no, New Year's Eve 2020,
Hmm.
we said I, I think 90% of the population in the world say, okay, that was the worst year, blah, blah,
Hmm.
blah, 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 blah. So we didn't expect 2021 in more or less similar condition. But financially, we have to expect complications in the next year and probably the next one, which is more or less okay. But in the macro, vision,
Hmm.
not I don't know how much could affect the people at home, but uh, financially speaking, it will not be easy this following year, right? Because makes sense because the crisis and all that, right?
That's right. The virus has created a lot of opportunities financially, business opportunities. Businesses like Zoom have really taken off, whereas other
Yeah,
traditional businesses like airline travel, for example, has really gotten an ass whoop. You got to expect the unexpected, is the
yeah,
truth. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So we have to look for new opportunities, and but today we want to talk about this, the first live of 2022, and talking about money and how to make your money work for you.
Yeah, that's right.
Means like or sounds like investment
Yeah,
or not.
yeah, no, it's definitely right. The biggest sort of investment we make is we invest our time into our jobs or our businesses, and we get paid, compensated for giving our time.
Yeah.
But you only have so much time, right? So the question is, how do you take the money that you get from investing your time, and how do you get
Yep.
that money to go out and work for you as well?
Exactly. There are a few options, right?
Hmm.
So we should start maybe as we post on Instagram, tax refunds, bonuses.
Yeah, so the end of the calendar year in the US, 31 December, often coincides with people getting bonuses, or sometimes it can be 31 March,
Yep.
and tax refunds. The
Right.
majority of Americans who work for salaries get tax refunds because the system is designed to deliberately overtax you so that you are incentivized to file a return and get a refund. So
Yes.
there's an entire
To
economy based around
overtax you.
this. Yeah,
So
deliberately.
overtax you. I mean, you will pay a little bit more than the right amount.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, during each pay cycle, you'll have some of your salary withheld by your employer, and they pay it to the government on your behalf. That's deliberately calculated to be in excess of what you would actually have to pay, and that incentivizes people at the end of the year file a tax return because if you don't, you're not going to get the refund you're entitled to.
Yeah, exactly. So how you can or yeah, how you can use this money, I mean for your purposes.
Yeah, so there's an entire economy based around this, and a lot of people, struggle financially in the US. And
Mm-hmm.
this is the biggest amount of money that they might see in the whole year, or in many
Mm-hmm.
years. You get a few
Yeah.
$1,000s.
Mm-hmm.
There is an economy based around this where, consumer goods are sold or put on special, to coincide with tax refunds being given to people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really up to you what you do with that money. A lot of people will go and spend it on a new TV, a big screen
Mm-hmm.
TV, or a PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Similar in a way to what people did with the stimulus payments, right?
Mm-hmm.
The alternative is you can take that money and you can do something else with it and make that money work for you,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, because it's a
Yeah.
windfall gain in a way.
Let's take the last one. So give me a chance. How we can invest. I don't know, $2,000. what can I do? When is the date that usually you get the money back?
So most people file I think the returns have to be filed by mid-April, but people will file them as, from January 1, you can start filing. So as soon as you have all the information, you start getting them in February or March.
Okay, so let's say that in March you have two grants.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what you do with that?
So it's again, it's up to you. You can go and spend it on a depreciating asset like, television, technology, or whatever, or you can go and invest it in something. Now,
Yeah,
investments,
second option.
yeah,
Yeah,
investments
investment.
don't have to be boring, and you don't have to be some fucking Wall Street genius to know what to invest in, right? There's Robinhood, there's Webull, there's Crypto.com, there's Coinbase, there's all kinds of platforms out there that are designed to allow people to invest with sort of minimal upfront
Yeah,
money.
not a lot of money. Yeah,
That's right.
and
So
you don't need to be an expert.
that's right. Yeah, you can do some reading around it. You can, jump on forums, read what other people write. But it's important to invest within your means, and it's actually Christina's made a very good comment here. She said they almost
Yeah,
treat it like money they didn't work for, and that's exactly
yeah,
right. You think about it like money you didn't have anyway, right? So if you invest it and it goes well, great. And if you invest it and it doesn't, nothing lost.
correct. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right. Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be the stock market. It can be putting the money in a high yield savings account. It can be buying government bonds. Government bonds is kind of like where you loan the government money, the federal government or the state government, and they will give you a bond, and the bond has a guaranteed rate of return, and it's one of the safest investments. But the amount that you get back is also the smallest, because risk and the amount that you get back are correlated. The more risk, the more reward. People are getting into, investing in watches. People are investing
For
in,
example,
yeah,
not any
cars.
watch, not any watch.
Yeah, no, not any watch, not your typical Casio or your typical, Swatch watch. There might be branded watches.
Yeah, I guess like a jewel, right? Like some people invest in diamonds, for example, or gold.
That's correct. And it's what you were saying earlier, that the virus has sort of created these new markets where things that traditionally might not have succeeded are now succeeding. Even used cars, we've talked about this, used cars and new cars, 25-30% higher than they were, say, 6 months ago, because of a global chip shortage, because of the virus, because people don't want to take public transport. They want to have their own vehicles to travel in for safety.
Yeah. So I have a question. Well, I have crypto.com
Crypto.com, yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm listening to you, so I'm downloading right now. This is not sponsored. Uh, well, there are many other platforms. I already have the crypto.com and Binance and all that. We will talk about this later, just to give an idea to the people what it is. Sometimes it's just scary, about this. It's like, oh, what is that? Maybe I put my credit card there or for payment or something, and someone is stealing me, blah, 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 blah. So it's not exactly like that. One question: why gold, for example, it's always a good asset, or yeah, the majority of the time it's a good asset.
So gold is kind of a funny thing like that. It's something that's worth money in every country, right? It's not necessarily tied to a currency. If a currency goes up,
Yeah.
it doesn't go up and down. So you can kind of hedge in a way against increases or decreases in currency value.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and that's kind of in a similar way, that's what's happening with a lot of these crypto-based assets, right? You can trade amongst different crypto assets. They're not necessarily tied to the US dollar or the euro or whatever it may be. So
Yeah.
they give you sort of an element of safety, right? And gold traditionally has always been good because it's something that's tangible. You can put your hands on it, you can hold it in a safe, you can put it in the bank, and it's something that's always had kind of intrinsic value. It's just a valuable thing. Money, on the
Yeah.
other
You're
hand,
right.
is just paper. It doesn't have any value. It only has the value that the government ascribes to it and says,
Exactly.
you have this,
Exactly.
it's $10, So that's
Yeah.
kind of a little
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, yeah, it's attached to another variables, right?
Yeah,
So in terms of gold, there are also a few platforms, or at least one or two platforms that you can invest in gold, just for a few ounces or something, because people think that, oh no, I don't have money to invest in gold. I need imagining that you need to buy
like a
like
bar, a gold bar, right? Like a big
like a
brooch.
gold bar.
Yeah,
Is it? No, no, that's impossible. I mean, only the government can do that, or some very rich people. But you have also the option to buy a few, maybe an ounce or something. It is not so expensive at the end. This kind of investments are good for a medium term or for a long term, or you should do a follow up, with the investment, because for example, crypto is very volatile, right? So
that's
it's
correct.
like,
Yeah,
okay, you put some money, I don't know, in Shiba Inu, whatever it's in
yeah,
vogue now,
yeah.
or
Shiva to the
doggy
moon,
doggy
right?
doggy,
Shiva to the
or
moon.
whatever.
Yeah,
And you put some money there, and tomorrow maybe you got the double, right?
that's right.
But after tomorrow, you have less than the double, right? So if you move the money tomorrow, you are good. But if you wait, they say, okay, maybe I will get a little bit more. It's not the same with gold, but what I'm trying to say, it's like it is okay, just to wait a little bit, be patient, don't expect like you will become rich in a short term, because this is not going to happen.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And investing, whether it be crypto, gold, property, stock, whatever, investment has to be a medium to long-term strategy, right? It can't be a get rich overnight. Now, look,
Yeah,
if you happen to buy the right currency at the right time and it explodes tomorrow, great, but that's not something you can really design. It's something that's
yeah.
kind of a coincidence. I would suggest, and look, I'm not an investment advisor. I'm not suggesting you invest in certain things,
So
but
Christina says Shiva to the moon.
yeah, that's right. That's the dog, right? Yeah. So, um, it's something that you buy on the dips. You buy when stock, currency, whatever, property. You buy it when it's low. You hold it long term. You don't expect to get a return overnight. Part of the journey, it's always going to be ebbs and flows. It's going to go up and down. It might go down significantly, but generally speaking, things recover. Generally speaking, over a period of months or years, the trend is upwards, generally speaking.
Yeah, yeah, generally speaking. Yeah, there are some indicators that you can check, There's also a good information that people can check on Google, or they can ask you directly, which indicators, they are cool to follow, right? With accurate information, easy information, not so complicated with graphics and all that.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. I would say go out there, learn about it, read about it, make an informed decision. But keep in mind, any investment is a risk, right? If you take your tax refund
Yeah, it
and
is.
you go buy an 85-inch TV, you're going to have an 85-inch TV tomorrow. You take that
Right.
money you invested in whatever, there's no guarantee it's going to be worth more or less tomorrow.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, but if it's a good like a television, for sure the value will be less, right? Always,
That's correct.
So it
Yeah,
makes sense.
it's a
Even if
guarantee.
you have the last technology, because maybe they create a new technology and then your technology is old-fashioned tomorrow, right? So when you try to resell that, even if it's a branded TV, like the super expensive one, or the luxury brand, maybe you lose money. Right?
That's right.
That is
And there are some things that buck that trend now, like, cars, for example. Cars are traditionally depreciating assets. It just
usually
happens,
yes.
yeah, because of the supply, because of the demand, prices are going up, right? Now, there's no guarantee that that's going to last. It's kind of the same thing for like designer bags. I've heard that they go up in value as well. Traditionally, when you think of buying, a handbag or an accessory of any type, you don't think of it as going up. But
I'm just laughing because
yeah,
what
yeah,
Christina said.
it's quite a
No,
funny.
you will not buy a Lambo. Yeah, you will not.
It's quite a funny. There's a meme on Facebook. It's got three orangutans, and they're sitting next to each other, and it says something like, 2 seconds after you invest in Shiba Inu, wear Lambo, right? Because people are sort of like
No, I have something. Just keep going. Keep going about talking crypto. One second.
yeah,
One
sure.
second.
Yeah, so but you can't expect, these things to sort of double or triple in value overnight. Investments always have to be, a spread of risk. You have to diversify, invest in a number of things. That
It's
way,
something for Christina
uh-huh.
because I invested in crypto and I got a Lambo.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's
There
what
you. I don't know which one is. It's an Aventador or something. So,
apparently
I,
that's what crypto gets you.
yeah, that is what crypto can do for you in a day.
Look, investing is like anything, right? You got to spread the risk. You can't invest all in crypto, all in stock, all in watches or whatever. Spread the risk, and investments don't have to be boring. You can invest
Exactly,
in things that you
exactly.
enjoy as well, you know?
Yes, yes. Maybe you don't need to buy, for example, the gold in the platform. You can buy the gold for yourself. You can wear it. You can, even the watch or even whatever. I mean, you have many options, right? Or you can be together. I mean, you can gather together with some friends and do something, right? I mean, some investment or anything is there is no need to go online and do something that maybe you are not super sure to do it, right?
That's right. And I think a couple of the lessons we've talked about throughout our Instagram lives. One is don't let your assumptions stop you, right? People go,
Yes,
"Oh, I got a $2,000 tax refund. Like, where the hell am I meant to invest that to make money?" Well, don't assume.
yes,
Go out and do some research.
yes.
Ask your friends, family, people who know.
Yeah.
Um, if the virus has taught us anything, it's that, life is short, right? Like time goes by
Life it is
quick.
short. It could be so short that tomorrow maybe we will not hear.
That's right.
So we will not, it will not be here. So it's like, yeah, it is like that,
You have to
honestly.
you have to have a balance, right? You think about the future, but you also enjoy the now. And
Yeah.
that's kind of what I've taken from the virus. Things are always going to be changing. You just have to be ready and willing to change with them.
There is something related to, when I mentioned something about the do something with friends
Uh-huh.
that today, for example, in the rural areas, you can, countryside, there is a good business, or at least it was last year. I don't know this one, most probably yes. To have this kind of shelters, it's like a mini hotel,
Uh-huh.
right? With only two, three, four bedrooms, or only two or three, just a small one, just a house.
Hmm.
And the people prefer, because of the pandemic and all that, people prefers to go there, to for a weekend or holidays. And here, for example, in our area, we have since last year in 2022. 2020 and 2020 and 2021,
Hmm.
we saw a lot of new rural houses. So you can go there, So, and it's not a super expensive, business. You need a license, etc. But it's just something that it's let's say in vogue now because of the pandemic. The people doesn't want to go to the, to the
To
to
cities
the
and
crowded
populated areas.
locations.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So you have always an option, no problem. Always an option, to see where you put some money and, not spend a lot, right?
Yeah, that's right. You got to think outside the square, right? Like,
Hmm.
like you said, if you have a little bit of money, you get together with some friends, you think about pulling your money. Can you get somewhere?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
always have to be thinking about opportunities and things like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it is important, I think, the discipline, right?
Hmm.
In all this, right? I
That's
mean,
right.
to be self-disciplined, etc.
Yeah, it's like anything, right? It's like going to the gym. You can't go to the gym for a week every day and then go, why am I not fucking jacked? Right? Why am I
Hmm.
not jacked? It takes
Hmm.
time. You've got to be patient. You're not going to feel
Yeah,
like doing it every day. And it's the
right.
same with saving and investing. You have to be patient. You have to realize that, investments will go down in value. You have to stay the course. it's a delayed gratification thing. I remember when I did psychology many years ago at university,
Mm-hmm.
there was an experiment where they gave kids like a marshmallow, and they're like, look,
Okay.
you can eat this marshmallow now, or
Mm-hmm.
if you can wait and just look at it for 5 minutes, in 5 minutes time,
Yep.
we'll give you another
Mm-hmm.
marshmallow, and then you'll have two.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
and some kids did it, and some kids were like, no, I want to eat it now. But it's kind of the
Okay.
it's kind of the perfect example if you think about it, right? You get a tax refund, you can either spend it now or you can invest it, and a little while down the track, you'll have more.
Yes.
You know,
Tax refunds are the thing about tax refund is like not all the people can get a refund, right? I mean, it's but many of them.
that's right. Yeah, it's a general proposition that people will get refunds. Some people will have tax to pay, especially with the virus. A lot of people have been unemployed. They may have
Mm-hmm.
gotten unemployment insurance payouts that
Mm-hmm.
didn't have
Mm-hmm.
tax paid on them, so they may have a tax to pay. It's true.
Okay. Okay. So that's important, just to remind the people that maybe you will you don't qualify this year for that.
That's correct. Yeah. It's important to get it right. And I think we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. Get your taxes
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
If you get a refund, great. If you don't, you have tax to pay, so be it. If you're unsure, ask a professional. You can ask me, you get TurboTax,
Exactly.
ask,
That's where you come into play. Yeah, in this, yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
I'm,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I do. So
Yeah, exactly. So, well, I think it's more or less clear. It's an extensive topic because we can talk a lot about this, and there is not only just selecting something to do and then you choose something and then you put the money and that's it. That there are a lot of things in the middle, but the ABC is what we were talking, right?
that's right. Yeah, at a general level, it's, you can either save your money or you can spend it. If you have a
Mm,
refund, if you receive a year-end bonus, think about what you want to do with it. If you weren't expecting it, it's even better, right? Because you're
hmm.
not losing anything. You're not really losing anything. So,
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I'm just checking here because I don't know where I have the computer here, and um, well, maybe next time there was something about the people. It just, yeah, I have it. I have the note here. Okay, maybe it's just the last question.
mhm.
What about if because during the pandemic, sorry, there were some people asking for some money to the government, some not insurance, but some support,
Mhm.
for food, for whatever. Is this affecting your capacity related to the taxes? How this is working, because it's not a private insurance, it's something that the government can, give you, depending on the states. It's not the same
Yeah,
in each state.
yeah, and I think that's the answer there. It does depend on each state. I know with the federal government and with some state governments as well, where they've
Hmm.
given businesses, for example, they've given credits. They've said,
Exactly.
certain taxes you get a credit for. You will have to disclose those in your tax return. Certain states will have policies where they say they're just a one-off. You don't have to pay them back. Other states will say you have to return them when you're in a certain position. Um, in terms of individuals where they've gotten benefits, I think it just depends on what the benefit is specifically. For
Yeah.
example, like the stimulus checks, they were $1,200, $1,300 each time.
Hmm.
They don't have to be repaid. I'm not 100%
Hmm.
sure if they have to be disclosed in your return or not. Chances are they will have to be, but still, yeah, definitely make sure you get it right.
Yeah. So call Umesh.
Yeah, yeah,
We need the call 1-800-257-1257 now. We
yeah,
need that.
that's right. Like a Better Call Saul
We need that
situation.
number, right?
And
With
and
that 800 Umesh.
and it's look, there's a lot of tax experts out there, and we don't know all the answers, right? And some
Yeah,
people may
exactly.
say, yeah, look, I know it all. That's bullshit, right? Like I certainly don't know
Yeah,
it all. But what I can do is I can tell you that I will go find the answer, and that's
yeah,
the
yeah, that's
difference,
okay.
So
It's like a doctor when you don't find or you don't know which is your problem, your health problem. Right? In this case, it's the doctor for the taxes or for all these financial things.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
just find the right diagnosis, right?
Yeah, I think it's about finding the right diagnosis, and I think it's about knowing how to find stuff. It's not really about
Exactly.
what you learn at university or anywhere really.
Mm,
It's the
yeah,
method.
yeah. You're right. You're right. Okay, so thank you so much.
Thank you,
Want
Rami.
to cheers.
Cheers. I'm
It's
gonna
not
drink
wine.
anything.
It's just apple juice.
Yeah.
No, it's kombucha. It's not apple juice. So
So
yeah,
fancy.
there is no alcohol here. It's ginger and lemon, by the
Ah,
way. So no, because I think the last year was a tough year. At the end, and with good things, bad things, and I think we deserve, to say we deserve better, and I think we will do it. So that's why I choose that one to finalize.
mhm.
Listen down.
I hear Freddie Mercury. I hear Queen.
We are the champions.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's a time that people need to get united and don't fight each other. Just stay united. Stay in unity with the family, with friends, with people in general, and look at the head. That's it.
Yeah, do if you can, do the right thing, whatever your stance is with masks and vaccines and things like that. My personal view is, if you don't know something about it, you defer to experts who do know. Think about people in general, right? Like it's not a time to be selfish, like you said. It's time to think about everybody.
It's like fighting for the good, not
Yep.
against each other. In any case, if we need to do something against something, it's just against, or not against, but complaining to the right people, not between each other, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so thank you so much for this first live.
Thank you,
Talk to
Rami.
you soon.
Yep.
I wish you a very, very good 2022.
Likewise.
And I will not say see you next year, as we said the last week.
See you next week.
See you next weekend.
Yeah. Okay. Relax. Take care. Rest up. Get well.
Bye bye. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Take care.
God
Thank you,
bless. Ciao,
everyone.
ciao.
Bye.
Bye.